Yeah,
rap?
let's. First of all, when I saw Remy rap, I was like, oh, Remy got a solo record on a DJ Premier joint. That's dope. And then I realized it was like short for Rapsody, and that it's Remy and Rapsody. My thoughts, first of all, after saying it was the best Preem beat I had heard in a long time, I immediately said to myself, this beat should have been better.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? This one, to me, was the one that really didn't sound like a Premier beat.
I can see why you would say
Yeah.
that. But here's what I will tell you. I thought Remy's verse was a verse of the year contender because I said to myself, if a man spits this same type of rhetoric about other male MCs, it would be a verse of the year contender.
You know, I really, really, really liked Remy's verse on here, and
That's the
I
best
liked
verse
it
of
so
the album.
much that I wish this was Remy's song by herself.
I could see you feeling that way. I mean, this is the best verse on the album, in my opinion, is actually Remy's verse. She has the best verse on the album.
Nas the GOAT says the bar work was great, but the beats were some mid.
I agree to a degree. The bar work on all these songs is great for different reasons, but just in terms of what we would contextualize as that traditional lyrical high level bar work, Remy delivered.
Remy delivered. I think the production on this one could have been better. I'm gonna get to the elephant in the room. LP said Rapsody killed it though. I don't know what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish with the whole Remy thing because the way that she's explaining, you know, how she feels about what she's seeing from the crop of female MCs, she's doing it in an insightful manner, in the manner that Jay would. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
She's being insightful and detailed about it. She's not generalizing it. You know what I mean? She's giving you, like, you know, she's giving you literary devices that connect.
DeCarlo says Remy and rapped better than everyone on this.
I agree, Mike. That so when some of the stuff that you said too, I was thinking, well, damn, because here was my thought. I said
everybody's bigging up Rapsody's verse.
Well, here's what I was about to tell you. It's not better than Remy's verse, but I thought to myself when the track was done, if Rapsody would have been on another record without that Remy verse, that Rapsody verse would probably be a verse of the year contender too. And then you told me what you thought. So go ahead.
This is the thing, man. And
this was a bar seminar, Mike.
And I think from a technical standpoint, I get it. Rapsody's bars are there. Her the way she puts things together are always there. I just don't feel Rapsody like that for some reason. The way you feel about Logic and the way I was sitting here talking about Logic's Vinyl Days album and what he was doing, I feel the same way when I hear Rapsody. And I guess I can't say it in any other terms other than the fact that her raps are just boring to me. It just are, man. Like, and again, that's not to say she's whack on no level, because she's not whack. I think that just stylistically, she doesn't really hold my attention like that. Like, it's just not for me like that. No. I would have much rather have heard, and I know it's going to sound awful to say, heard another Remy verse. And I know she was spitting on that. She did her thing, but I think the song would have been better for me if Remy had two verses.
I'm not going to totally disagree with that last sentiment just because of how Remy snapped on the first verse. But I did think that Rapsody did an excellent job over somebody who I thought delivered one of the best verses of the year. Following up somebody who's delivering one of the best verses of the year is hard. And so Rapsody's a pro. I hope people in the chat are discrediting you and your behavior and your thoughts.
I mean, look, we can't critique Rapsody. Like, I just...
No, it's cool. We can, but it's like, on what premise are you talking? Because it made me think
on an MC premise. Like, I mean, for me, she's not Rod Digger. She's not. I mean, as far as like, you know, just being interested in the bars or whatever. Like, what's y'all favorite Rapsody song? Like, I don't know, man. I just don't really.
Hold on.
It doesn't. It's like I said. To me, she's like the female Logic, man.
Hold on, you don't think Digga and her are comparable MCs?
I would much rather listen to Rod Digger's album and music than Rapsody. It's not even close. Now, if we want to talk about on a technical level, maybe, I could see you saying it's comparable. But if you talk about Dirty Harriet and Eve and which one I want to listen to, it's not even close.
Now, you're higher on Dirty Harriet than most, for one, Mike. That needs to be understood. You're actually the only guy that really runs around talking about Dirty Harriet like that. Although Dirty Harriet,
you didn't like Tight?
It has some heat on there.
Okay, give me a Rapsody song that you would put up against Tight. Give me a Rapsody song you would put up against Tight.
I'm not doing that.
Of course.
Okay, so listen to what I'm about to say though. I'm not taking anything away from Digga or from Dirty Harriet. Dirty Harriet has more high points than Eve. Digga has a better voice than Rapsody. My biggest qualm about Rapsody is probably her voice, because of all the dope ass female MCs. I think she might have the worst voice.
Even like on Complexion, on To Pimp a Butterfly, she's boring to me. I mean, that's such a, and you know how high I am on that album. Let me get to the super chats, because I'm sure I'm getting killed in here. Nas the Goat says, you think Remy's verse was better than Nas' second verse? I like Nas' second verse on there. Mad Max at the super chat says, she said that I'm a daughter of a gun. I spit out bullets as her first line, Mike. Don't do Rapsody like that.
That's that technical rap Mike is talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we do this to other people, but when it comes to somebody like Rapsody, it's like all that goes out the window.
So here's what I would tell you. Right now, okay, so where would you have Rapsody all time, and where would you have her right now if you were just talking amongst the female contemporaries?
That's a good question. Let me get to these super chats, and I'm gonna jot this down real quick. Eric Terrell says, "Love the show. My favorite, my new favorite. Coop, how do you feel about Ice Cube's Kill It Will EP? It's a classic in my opinion. Of course, it's a classic."
So I do another podcast, Mirror Music, and we were talking. We just did one where we were comparing Sublime Santeria and Nothing But a G Thing by Dr. Dre and Snoop. And one of the things that I was talking about was the West Coast run, and I highlighted how in a very brief amount of time, Ice Cube made 2 classic albums and 1 classic EP. That classic EP would be
incredible.
Yeah.
Kill It Will. Jay Short says, female MCs like Shay Noir caught up to Rapsody. Yes. That's my point.
Hold on. That's my point. So pause. So what you're having is that you're seeing Rapsody in a transitional climate where things are changing for female MCs. Like, I just came on the show on Wednesday, and I told you, I said, there's never even been a collective like the Griselda Collective and the umbrella that it's becoming in subsidiaries that's even had 3 female MCs the quality of Che Noir, Love the Genius, and Armani Caesar even within their fold. And I went and checked.
Reggie says, Mike, do you like Ciroc? Yes, I do like Ciroc. She's awesome. Marquez Davis says, my favorite Rapsody song is Sojourner with J. Cole. Dope record. And the Eve album is dope. But you know what? It's one of those dope albums that on a technical level is dope, but I don't listen to it. And I'm not trying to be funny. Jevin June says, I agree with Mike about Rapsody. I wouldn't say boring, though.
Okay, so
when I listened to Shay Noir's album this year, I was like, yo, this is one of the best albums of the year.
Easy. We're going to talk about that.
I like Shay Noir better than Rapsody, but you asked me my top 10, right?
Hold on.
Okay.
Are we doing all time right now, or are we doing right now? Which one are we doing first? Because I asked you a double-edged question, or a dual-ended question, excuse me.
I mean, I think Rapsody's been around 10 plus years. I think we should be able to do it all time, right?
No. We're going to do both. We're going to place her now and place her like all time. We can do the all time first. Okay. I'm cool with that. I was just making sure what we were doing first.
Do you place Rapsody over MC Lyte? Queen Latifah? Lil' Kim?
We're not doing that. Let's like start somewhere where it's comparable.
Lil' Kim, the Brat?
No.
Okay. No. Foxy Brown? I mean, where are we going, man? Eve?
Stop.
Yeah,
that's where I think the pocket for her starts to happen, because you just named the people that I definitely have ahead of her, which is Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, the Brat.
Like, I think I'm higher on Eve than you are, because as much as I loved the Brat growing up, I would have to say that I would place Eve over the Brat.
Eve's best is Rough Riders First Lady, and the Brat's best is Funkdified. So give me Funkdified.
Really? I don't know, man. I mean, I like Funkdified.
I love Eve's first album, but Eve's first album, I'm just gonna say this respectfully, a lot of the best stuff on there has help.
Love Is Blind is a really good record.
It's a great record. It's one of the best,
and she took it to places that the Brat wasn't able to take it to.
You want to know what? It's a very comparable conversation. So if you told me that Eve was better than the Brat, because you want to know, I think she has a better voice and delivery, actually.
Yeah. So, and honestly, if we want to talk about album for album, she's been able to continue her hit-making ability. We're talking about hits in that day. She was able to do it all. She can make street records. She can make a record with Gwen Stefani, Blow Your Mind. She can make a Gangsta Lovin' with Alicia Keys. She was able to do that song from the Rough Rider compilation, the first one.
What You Want?
Yeah, she could do everything. Like, I think Eve's versatility
goes
understated, honestly.
No, you want to know what? I'm cool with putting Eve ahead of the Brat. You want to know what? Because you're right. I actually I met Eve after she came out with What You Want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she came into the record store in Charlotte. She was super cool. This is before the fame, though. She was like in a little tank top and like some Daisy Dukes, and was just like with some sunglasses on and was just like kicking it. She was like a chick from Philly. You know?
I've heard nothing but great stuff about Eve as far as personality.
Yeah, she was super cool. Yeah, she was cool. She was like a, you know, you want to know it when she walked in the door, like Round the Way Girl started playing in my head.
Mad Max to the super chat says Rapsody, not Shay Noir or Lady London. I like Cannon more than Rapsody too. Her voice is weaker though. She's nice. I see what Mike is saying. She's not Eve, Coop.
No, I'm cool with that. No. I'm cool with that. I'm talking about a starting point. So, of course, she's not Lauryn Hill.
Do we even count Lauryn? Because, you know, again, she doesn't really have a lot of... Well, I guess she got the score.
She's got the score. And she...
In a vacuum, Lauryn Hill is the greatest female MC I've ever heard, and one of the greatest MCs I've ever heard, period.
Andre 3000 made your top 10 Southern MCs list, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, on Lauryn Hill's R&B album, she has 2 songs with 3 rap verses. Andre doesn't have that in his entire career, so if he can still be in our top 10 all-time Southern MCs, and we don't even know if he can spit 3 bars... 3 verses straight through. No, we know Lauryn Hill can spit for 3 verses.
Andre doesn't have a doo-wop or a Lost Ones.
She can. Oh, I'm sorry. She has 3 songs like that. Because then there's Final Hour. As a matter of fact, and the hook work on those songs is phenomenal. And those are flawless victories. Finish Her.
And even her verse on Everything Is Everything.
Those are flawless victories.
Great verses. Reggie with the super chat says, we often talk about MCs that should stop when they pass their prime. When should producers stop making beats? Who do you feel needs to retire? Are y'all alluding to the fact that Premier needs to stop making beats? Come on, man.
Let's have this Rapsody conversation, and then we can jump down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, because we're gonna end up we're gonna finish talking about the album. Mean, we've named like 7 MCs already.
Yeah, we're at 7 actually.
Now I'm gonna be fair. And you know I'm a Rod Digger person. I think on an all-time level, just the work that's been put in by Rapsody, I could see Rapsody being ahead of Digger.
Okay.
I don't prefer her over Digger, but I could see, you know.
I was about to say, so Bahamadia, Jean Grey, same thing. Rapsody's ahead of them?
Ooh, yeah, I guess so, but I prefer them over Rapsody.
Okay. Yeah. Nicki Minaj.
Nicki's over her.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Meg. Hold on, never mind, because Meg is part of a current conversation, so let's stop right there for a second.
Okay.
We have anybody else that we need to slide in here anywhere that you can think of?
What do you guys say in the chat?
Like Yo-Yo. Is Yo-Yo better than Rapsody?
I got love for Yo-Yo. Very dope person. It would be tough for me to make that argument based on the material.
Okay. I'm just going in the area. Heather B.
Now she got Heather B. Again, I think it's a material thing. I want to know what people think about Missy, because Missy's always the elephant in the room when it comes to these things. And honestly, Missy's kind of like Future on this Southern list.
Nobody on this list is technically better than Missy, except for Lauryn Hill. You feel what I'm saying? Kind of, sort of? in a sense.
I'll say
like
this.
the only person,
And you know
the
me,
only person
I'm a big Missy fan. Oh, they said Lady of Rage. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Ooh, see? Ooh,
Because I do think Lady of Rage has more classic moments. I think bar for bar, Lady of Rage is the better MC.
She's got Afro.
I think it's just the longevity part of it, which would hurt Rage, but I'm still putting Rage ahead of her.
Gatman and Robin?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That's a Primo track, by the way.
Yeah, Primo did a lot of work with Lady of Rage. Jay Shore with the super chat says the Brat gave her best material to JD and Bow Wow. Missy.
And Chris Cross.
I'm going to say this, man. You know I'm a big Missy fan. Missy's biggest claim to fame in this conversation is creativity. And it's not really quote unquote bar work, you know, because anybody else saying he how might not, you know, go off the way that it did with Missy, or even when she was, you know, putting the thing down, flipping and reverse it and all that stuff. Like, she's just kind of a different being in that way.
I told you it's different. It's a different sphere of music that her and Tim was making.
We got Mia X in this thing.
Okay. Ooh, interesting. I think, Rapsody wins that catalog thing too, you know, with her. Yeah. Same thing with
Mia X would out rap. I think Mia X would out rap Rapsody, but yeah, it's the catalog thing.
I'm not certain of that, but I would like to see that. Gangsta Boo and LeChat kind of suffer the same fate as Mia X.
Y'all know me, man. I love Gangsta Boo, man. I think Gangsta Boo is probably the most underrated female MC in hip hop.
Even with that being said, Mike, she doesn't have
even
a fair
with that
argument.
being said, it'll make it really hard for me as a super 3-6 fan and Gangsta Boo fan. It'll make it hard for me to make that argument. So I'll give Rapsody that one too. Unknown Name says Rapsody is not top 20 female MC. She is uninspiring. Well, I guess I'm not as crazy as I thought.
What did we say about Rage? Is Rage ahead of
I'll put Rage ahead. I mean, she got like
she got a lot of work.
Yeah, man.
She's been a part of a lot of seminal work. She's on the Chronic and Doggy
Style. Yeah.
She's on
That's seminal shit, man.
Hold on.
And you know what? And like I said, with the whole Rapsody being on the Pimp a Butterfly, she's not memorable on there like Rage is on the Chronic and Doggy Style.
I mean, how about this? Think about it. Rage starts off Doggy Style.
Exactly.
Rage in effect.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. She got Afro Puffs. I still love Afro Puffs. Afro Puffs is one of the best beats ever. Well, you know what? We want to be like that. What Rapsody got for Where Them Dollars At?
I was thinking about that, but here's the thing about it. That is Gangsta Boo's moment, that and probably Chicken Head, and after that it's Rapsody.
Well, that's Chad on Chicken Head. Gangsta Boo not even on that.
I keep forgetting that. It is right. That is Chad on Chicken Head. Yeah. You don't want to do that to either one of them. They don't have enough for her.
Well, I would say that other than Where Them Dollars At, Boo's standout moment is definitely Ted a Club.
Okay, so right now, based on how we have it,
they said no love for Charlie Baltimore? No. I got a quick story before you go into what you were going to say. Yeah. When I first heard the Rough Riders Anthem remix, that was the first time I ever heard Eve. I remember hearing Eve on there, and I was like, damn, Charlie Baltimore is snapping. I thought it was Charlie. It's a Philly thing. You heard that they did Brooklyn's Finest over together. Eve and Charlie Baltimore. It was pretty dope.
Philly's Finest? Philly's Finest.
So they were going
back. Yeah, I remember that. No, that was hard, actually.
Yeah. What were you about to say?
So if we were to pause right now, Rapsody would be at number 10 on our all-time list.
And we haven't even gone into today.
I was about to say, because not in any order, we got Kim, Foxy, the Brat, Eve, Light, Latifah, Lauren, Nikki, Rage. Hold on, let's stop for a second. What say you about Roxanne Shante, you know?
Again, I think it's more of a material thing, and I hate to do that, you know. Obviously, Roxanne Shante has the skills and, you know, is a pioneer in that way, but it's just, you know, it wouldn't be fair to Rapsody with the amount of work that she's put in catalog-wise to, you know.
No, I feel you. I'm just trying to get everybody covered properly.
No, definitely. And anybody in the chat, make sure that make sure we're not forgetting any names. Put up whatever names you think we're forgetting.
Like Boss from Detroit, probably not enough either. You remember Boss? Mm-hmm. Boss was hard.
Well, see, you know what? I think that's the thing, too, because honestly, would I rather listen to Moni Love over Rapsody? Yes. But see,
Me
I
too,
don't know
actually.
what happened somewhere down the lines of hip hop where our women in hip hop just don't get the ability to have the elongated catalogs that the male MCs get to have.
We get them for an album or two, Mike, if we're
Yeah,
lucky. If we're lucky.
if we're lucky.
Like Lil' Kim having the career that she had, that's groundbreaking.
No one really has the catalog that Kim, Nicki, and Missy have, like on a mainstream level at all.
Wasn't even possible before really Kim did it.
Yeah, you're right. Kim's like the
Like, I
first
mean,
one to really have that catalog. We could say Salt and Pepper as a collective, but as a solo artist, yeah.
like Light has what? I mean, even to this day, Light still only did what? Maybe 4 solo albums?
Yeah, something like that. By the time that Kim got to Naked Truth and deep in those areas, it was like, yo, this is kind of uncharted water.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Naked Truth, Labella Mafia, like all that. It's like, yeah, no. Hadn't no rap female been relevant enough to extend herself like that she deserved in the media and in our eyes.
And it wasn't considered like a comeback type situation.
No, it was like, no, that's Kim.
Yeah. Man with the super chat says Rapsody out raps a lot of dudes. Her bar work. Well, give me an example. What song?
So do these women.
About?
So do these other women. Like, I get tired of dudes saying that.
Yeah,
It's like, so
I think
first of all, these women that I named are better than like 80% of the guys who ever rapped. Too.
Like who had the best verse on Lean Back? Let's just keep it above.
That's Remy.
Exactly. Nas the GOAT says, what about Lisa Left Eye Lopez? Again, it's another material thing.
I feel like, I'd prefer to hear Left Eye.
Me too. Of course. Rapsody doesn't have a verse like Left Eye has on Waterfalls or the Darnell Jones remix.
Look, do you know what's up? Or Switch.
No. Even if we want to go to Ladies Night.
Ladies Night verse is pretty tough.
Jay Short with the super chat says, what Rapsody do that Jean Grey hasn't? I think Ladybug Mecca was better too. I think now we're talking about people that we personally like more, but again, that's what my whole point is.
I think that's part of Mike's point.
Our man with the super chat, and I'm going to let you go. He says, Peace Brothers, did y'all check out the Beats, Rhymes, and Lists of the greatest rap storytelling songs? No, I Ain't Mad at You, No Cream, and No Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Very problematic. Shaking my head. We'll check that out because, we got to check these publications when they get off the grid.
Who did that?
Who did he say did that? He said Beats, Rhymes, and Lists. And It's About Time said, damn, no Trina love? I never thought Trina was dope, and I'm just going to be honest.
Ooh, we can add Trina to the list, but she's not better than Rapsody. But thanks for pointing out Trina. I like Trina. You know how I feel about Be Alright, the baddest? No, she has some stuff. You didn't like the baddest? With Warren
from a skill set point of view, I never thought Trina got any better. I thought when her and Silk the Shocker made that record together, perfect collaboration of
that was very problematic.
Two of the weaker MCs from both sides collaborating. I'm just being real, man. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like she was dope. Like, but anyway, I listen to Ladies Night now. I think that Left Eye might have had the best verse on Ladies Night.
I actually agree with you on that. I feel like Missy stole the show, though.
Of course. But back in the day, just based on the
best
rap's
moment
flow.
is Missy. The best moment is Missy, but the best bar work is Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Yes. Yeah.
With ease.
Let's go to modern day times. So, what say you? I think right now, Che Noir in first place, right?
Ooh, somebody said Shauna. Shauna was dope. And once again, another tragedy of not having the material. Now, if we talk about somebody just on raw ability and skills, Shauna's tough.
Skills.
And Shauna also showed that she had the ability to make songs with What's Your Fantasy, Stand Up, some of the stuff she made with Luda. She had everything. I
don't disagree. I do not disagree. So let's pause for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people have kind of quibbled and squabbed with the way that Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown did things when they came in, which is a formula there by people like Nicki Minaj, and now you can even see it in Lotto have picked up.
Yeah.
Are you listening to the list of casualties of what has happened to all these dope ass female MCs? Because what you should really hear in all of this, because we are saying way too much. Well, she didn't get an opportunity. This ain't Mike. This isn't like in the '60s. This is like when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
If this shit is happening,
I never understood the Shauna thing,
it's
man.
It's so. Hold on. So
Shauna's ceiling was high.
So for 2.5 years, I've been coming up. Well, not 2.5, but over 2 years and some change now. I've been coming up here and talking about just how inherently misogynistic and problematic the hip hop industry is. When we're listing off these female MCs, you can hear it because, to be honest with you, what's keeping these women from being even like in the all-time great conversation between women and the all-time great conversation in general is the ability to
put records
make
out.
The material. Yeah. Because the people who have made the material, we hold motherfucking high.
Exactly.
We hold Lauryn Hill high, and we just might, because we just named 3 songs off, like, because it's like, well, shit, you got another female that can rhyme like that on 3 records? Because we don't get enough.
Nicholas says, what about Dreezy? Dreezy's dope, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's very problematic.
And I think I saw somebody say something about what problem do we have with Jean Grey. I love Jean Grey. I think Jean Grey's super dope.
I don't love Jean Grey, but she's super dope.
Yeah. Lady Luck is another one. Nice. Lady Luck's another one that had abilities. I like Lady Luck, but we don't have a catalog.
Jean Grey? Didn't Jean Grey and Lady Luck get into a battle?
Didn't Remy and Lady Luck get into a battle?
Remy won that, I heard, right?
You know what people say that? I thought Lady Luck won, but hey.
Some people feel that way too.
Hey, go back and look at it on YouTube. I mean,
Luck was nice too. That's
Luck
what I'm saying.
Nice.
So don't tell me that this industry isn't like misogynistic, because the reality of the matter is that, like, man, we should even have more MC Lyte and Queen Latifah albums than we got, Mike. Like, so that they can submit themselves more. A lot of the reason why Kim is the standard is about what you said, Mike. She's the female that they got to see make material. Well, who are you going to copy if you're a woman? You're going to copy the one that's actually getting to, like, put out albums every 2-3 years, like, with a budget and a layout and press and media and, like, the whole fucking deal. And so when people are like, why is little Kim in this little purple shit, like, with her titty out? It's like, well, nigga, that motherfucker's getting to make 5 or 6 albums. What about the people before her?
Dude,
like,
the fanfare for Kim's sophomore album, Notorious K.I.M., is probably the best rollout I've ever seen for a female MC's sophomore album. You know what I mean? Like, people were ready for her to come back.
Pink posters with her in the jeans and like this was everywhere.
Everywhere. And I'm trying to think, who's had something like that on their follow-up? Had it like that. Maybe Nicki did.
Had it like that. No, Nicki never had it like that, Mike.
You know, I think we're seeing that with Megan right now. Because Megan can rap.
Number 1 rapper press.
No, for real. I think we're seeing that with Megan now. Because Megan can rap that.
No.
And Megan, I'm talking about the fact that
not like that.
Her follow-ups aren't being heralded in the way that they should be. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing Megan get treated like every other female has been treated. You were hot for that moment, and then when you're trying to come back, then it's kind of like, dialing it down.
Yeah, we're done with you.
That's what it seems like. And it's sad because Megan can rap.
No, that's what I mean. Look at somebody like MC Lyte, who had to make Roughneck and then had to go make Cold Rock a Party and keep on keeping on just to,
just make herself. Yeah.
And those songs are dope to me, by the way. All those songs are dope records.
They're dope, but it sounded like Lyte was trying to latch on to what was going on.
I like Keep On Keeping On.
Maybe I think it's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good record.
Liberian Girl sample, can't go wrong with
Liberian Girl sample. It hits hard. This Liberian Girl sample shit hit hard.
Jay Short with the super chat says, "Women be feeling Trina though, so we may not get it." That's a good point. Maybe it's just not for me.
Hold on, the Dr. Guillory that I often reference from the whole Black Love is Tenuous conversation and all that. She's from New Orleans, but she used to reference Trina and how much she loved Trina too. Trina is empowering to a lot of Black women.
Okay.
Yeah.
DeCarlo says, "What about Cash Doll? I like Cash Doll a lot."
That's what I'm saying. I like Cash Doll too, actually, Mike. We were talking about Cash Doll, I believe, we had a day on this show where we talked about Cash Doll for a minute. and like what she was doing. Let's get back to today's list right quick.
Well, Nas the GOAT is getting on your list. He says, is Shay Noir top 10? Or is it too early to call?
Shay Noir,
what say you?
Like all time?
Because right now, like you said, everything that we have listed, we got Rapsody at 10. So
that's why we need to do today's list.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's kind of part of it. Let's put it fairly and properly and objectively into context, because you might be making very, very strong points. Well, let's place those points. Evidence. So right now we got her at 10, and that 10 is really subjective to the fact that a lot of the people that we have below her we think are better than her, but we're giving the opportunity to make the material the way that she did. Correct?
Well, some of the people that we thought were better than her, we still gave her precedence over because she has the material. So I think everybody.
That's what I'm saying. But like we should, because it's because she's done the work. You can't discredit the work that somebody's done, and you can't add credit for somebody that didn't get that work, even though the opportunities were of the misogynistic and this is rap is a tough culture for women.
Somebody says Eminem ever put on a woman rapper.
Next. Okay, so we got Shay Noir at number 1 right now today, right?
Yeah. Okay, so who you got, Rapsody or Shay Noir at this point?
I got Shay.
Well, that bumps Rapsody out of the 10.
Not all time. That's why I said today. We're talking all time. Rapsody's at 10. I'm talking about today. Who do you have? And we need to discuss if somebody from today has the catalog to be placed above Rapsody to remove her from that top 10 spot. Is really what the conversation needs to be.
Yo, Hassan Sykes says Pastor Troy don't get no love, guys. What are we doing? I got Pastor Troy on my list. That was part of today's agenda. We're going to get into Troy too. Just walk with us. Take some time. Give us some time. We're going to get to it. I crossed out Jeezy for Pastor Troy at 25. Yeah, somebody said that. Yeah. And there's a meaning behind that too.
Very problematic.
Okay, so you said we're going today, right? Shay Noir. Right now and today you got her over Rapsody.
Right.
What about Megan?
I would still take Rapsody over Megan. What say you?
I got Megan over Rapsody.
Okay.
I'd rather listen to Lotto over Rapsody too. I know it's really controversial, but
I don't agree with that. I can't give you that off one album, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the potential though. I see and I think she's going to have that ceiling. And you're right. We can't give it to her off of one album at this point, right?
If was a fifth.
Right. We're just gonna have to see, and really, that's more of a prediction as opposed to a declaration. Because at this point, when you talk about today, we've actually seen like a real big push and a lot of women being able to get their voices out there over the last 5 years or so, right? So even with that being said, Rapsody has a good 6 or 7 years on that class. So she's already going to be a little bit ahead of the curve anyway.
Well, I'm going to try to point out something, too. That's why I kind of asked to separate the list for a second, too.
Okay.
So where are we going after that? Love?
Again, I like Love as an MC better, but she doesn't,
Actually,
she got a catalog now.
I'm about to say, she actually does have enough material to make this a conversation, actually. Because she has put out multiple, she has more than 2 projects. She has 3 or 4, maybe 5 projects.
Yeah.
No, that's enough to be a conversation.
Shay Noir and Love are really, really dope. And we're going to get to the other one as well, Amani Caesar. And Amani Caesar doesn't have a lot of projects, but to me, the Liz, I listened to the Liz this morning. I was like, man, this shit sounds just as good, if not better, than when I first heard it.
Liz is dope.
And really, man, and y'all talking about Preem, and we're going to get back to the Preem album.
Simply Done.
Simply Done is crazy. I think that's the best. That's one of my favorite premiere tracks over the past 5 years that I could think of.
Up there. That's top 5. That's top 5. Matter of fact, the Joey Badass beat is probably the best beat since that beat. When is that? That beat's 3 years old now, though, right?
That was 2020.
I feel like that was all. I feel like, really? Was that 2020?
Yeah, it was 2020. Yep.
Wow. Time flies.
Time does fly. But You know what? The thing about Simply Done is the fact that just based on the appearance and the way that they were marketing Armani, you wouldn't think that she would jump on a premiere track. And when she jumped on the premiere track, her and Benny, they killed it.
No, I loved it. But one song and one album is not enough to put
It's not enough.
ahead of Rapsody, or these other women could possibly be ahead of Rapsody. So she's kind of in Lotto's category where it's like, well, I see it and it's right there, but it hasn't happened yet, and we're here today discussing it.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I think the best way to put
I prefer Armani to Rapsody too, just in all honesty, but objectively speaking, overall.
I understand what you're saying, and you're right, and we got to be fair on that light. But this is what I'm saying. As a consumer and as a hip-hop fan, if they said, yo, Armani, Mulatto, or Lotto, and Rapsody are all dropping on Friday, I'm going to listen to it in that order. I'm listening to Armani's album first.
Yes.
I'm listening to Lotto's album, and then I'll get to the Rapsody album.
No, I'm going Armani, Rapsody, Lotto, but I'm
not mad at that. Michael Holmes with a super chat says, Boosie Badass and Soulja Slim, legends. DeCarlo says, I may be uneducated, but what about a mill? Y'all trying to be funny, right? Dumb It Down says, Rapsody writes her rhymes. Some of the others don't. Okay, we can get to that elephant in the room as well.
Ooh. Hold on. Okay.
Nas the Goat says, what about Young M.A., fellas? We can get to that. Yeah, what about Young M.A.?
Where's Young M.A.'s projects at? Outside of the freestyles and just the song drops that we get intermittently.
I think it's a material thing,
Once again,
not
material. We going around to this material thing because it's who wants to get behind this openly gay, braggadocious, gay woman?
Okay, can I say something that might be controversial in this? And I don't want us to get knocked off of YouTube or anything.
Well, then don't get us knocked off of YouTube.
I think Young M.A. has a WNBA problem.
Just stop the show. Stop the show.
I'm just saying.
So, no, I want
out. It's a WNBA problem.
This nigga right here. Oof. Go ahead, Mike.
It's difficult to market. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta look at it when we talk about, and when I say WNBA, because we talk about basketball and hip hop all the time, right? Who's watching basketball? Men. Right? Who's listening to rap music at that, to that barometer? There are women that listen to rap heavy, but it's mostly a male audience. Right? And
have we made this space comfortable for women to want, because music and sports are different. Because of genetic predisposition, you are more likely to be entertained by the athletic feats of a man than a female.
Well, see, I feel
this is chess over here. No. This is chess. This is of the mind, and women have beautiful minds. And so this is more fair ground and territory. Has the territory been staked and claimed in a fair manner to make the spaces comfortable for the population, thereby to reflect it?
I understand what you're saying in that light, but I think the problem's a little bit deeper than that, because tennis doesn't have that issue.
No, the problem is we some niggas, though.
Exactly.
Tennis is not. Right,
So why as men do we watch women's tennis and we don't watch the WNBA at that same rate?
Okay, so for me, as somebody who's a big tennis fan, my daughter was in the USTA Academy once upon a time. We play. I'm a big tennis fan, male and female. The game is marketed properly and always has been on both sides fairly for the good majority of my adult life. And I want you to understand that Billie Jean King in Title IX, that's 70s right before we're born, Mike.
Right.
Serena and Venus have not only been champions, but they've been really big in changing the pay rate and the pay scale and making it more fair and making it more inclusive. And what you're really seeing is you are seeing more women of color now and biracial equalities who have like picked up tennis rackets and like played because Serena and Venus have taken what Billie Jean King started and made it more fair and open and comfortable spaces for those women. We have to do the same thing for women on an inherent basis in hip hop before we can say, well, it's like, well, men mostly listen to hip hop. Well, it's like, well, if we call them bitches and hoes all the time, maybe there's a good portion of that don't want to hear that motherfucking shit.
No, and you know what? And honestly, in hip hop, there's a lot of options of what you can listen to, and you know what you want to hear. And if you want to hear these type of messages, there are artists for that. There's artists for all kind of stuff in hip hop now, especially with the internet being what it is. I do think that, you know, back to the Young M.A. thing, it's a very interesting dichotomy because we didn't even consider Young M.A. I mean, there are some names that we missed out, but even when people were mentioning names on the side, it took for a minute for us to even get to that name. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, is she even, I know it's going to sound controversial, but is she even considered to be a female MC at the top of our mindset? Because obviously none of us thought about it. And when the person brought it up, I'm like, oh, yeah.
I classify her as a gay woman. She's still a woman.
Okay. Jay Show with the Super Chat says, honorable mention to Dage Love, too. I like Dage Love. But again, I think it's a material thing. Not enough. Game says, a shout out to the game. Says, check out Ciroc. She won't be disappointed. Won't disappoint. No, of course not.
Is it Ciroc or is it Ciroc?
It's Ciroc.
Right.
Yeah, not Ciroc like the drink. Yeah, it's Ciroc. No. Mad Max says, Lil Sims is better than Rapsody. That album last year, to me, is the best female rap album I've heard, other than when I listened to MC Lyte. I like that album a lot too. I may be an introvert. To me though. I don't even you know what? When I passed you, I may be an introvert because my guy Mark put me onto it. Shout out to Mark Wright out there. I just knew you were gonna love it too. And when you said you weren't really thrown by it, I was like, wow.
It was good. It was good.
Mad Max says she does, Mike. Young M.A. is Brittany Griner. She's not a female rapper, but to me, she's a male rapper stuck in a female's body. See, I'm
not here for these conversations.
I don't. But you know what? I'll just say this. All that confusion is probably why she's tougher to classify in that way. And maybe we need to get to a point where, like Love the Genius said, where we don't even classify female rappers anymore. I don't know.
Well, let's get somewhere because I'm trying to get somewhere. I have an overall point that I'm making because when you told me this about Rapsody, I started thinking about a couple things, and I'm gonna share them in a minute. Right now, we have Che Noir, Megan, and Love in this era ahead of Rapsody. Who else you got? Because Ciroc and Lil Sims are not ahead of Rapsody. And neither is Armani or Lotto.
Potential's high.
Potential's high for all of them.
Okay.
We're talking today.
Go over those names again.
We got Che, Megan, and Love ahead. We got Lotto, Armani, Ciroc, and Sims behind. So she would be fourth right now in this era.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
and enough. We haven't had a Remy Ma conversation.
No.
And listen, and we haven't had the Remy Ma conversation either. And where you would classify Remy from what era?
And I love Remy, and I think she got off on this record, but it's just not enough material. Once again.
So you got Rapsody ahead of Remy too. I don't even know if I agree with that totally.
I mean, I have to. Rapsody just has too much material. I think Eve will put her ahead of Remy alone. If we're being fair,
I think Remy maybe has done more material than you realize, but I get what you're saying.
So what album though?
That's why I said I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's difficult, and we even heard them both on this record. And
Remy's a superior MC. She always has been. Correct. Keep going. So
this is and that's my whole point with Rapsody. There's a lot of people who don't have the catalog that Rapsody has that are superior MCs, and that's why I kind of just, I don't know, man. It makes it tough.
So I think, and this is actually, it's kind of funny. So you would say fourth for this generation is fair, right?
I mean,
that's how it looks, right?
That's how it looks. I mean, some
Okay,
would
so
say she's top 5 all time.
so let's pause for a second. Do you think Che Noir is better than her on an all-time basis?
I think she will be. It's too
Me
early to
too.
say that.
What about Megan?
I think she will be as well.
Is it still too early? Same thing with Love. So we're still putting Rhapsody at 10. But listen to what I'm trying
You
to
know
say.
what? It's interesting you say that about Megan. And the reason why I pause is because I don't really know. This Megan thing can go one or two ways. She can kind of fall off the face of the earth or continue. She's one record away from jumping to where she can be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you blow up so big, your ability to fall off becomes greater. You know what I mean? And I
No, I
think
get
at
it.
one point when she was doing the Tina Snow stuff, where she had her core market and she
Mm-hmm.
was serving that core market, if she
Mm-hmm.
could have kept doing that, then yeah,
Yep.
that trajectory would have leveled out and she would have had a stronger base. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, I feel like she's kind of under the gun where the next thing she drops has to be great or at least connect rather, or she could fall off. You know what I mean? And that could just affect the overall thing. So yeah, I don't know when it comes to Megan. I mean, just guessing off of her abilities alone, I say that she will be,
Mm-hmm.
but if she ends up falling off because of those things I just mentioned, I wouldn't be super surprised. It's
And
tough to
so
call.
and so you would probably say Love doesn't have enough yet to be placed fairly over Rhapsody. And I think Love has more material than Che and Megan, if I'm not mistaken.
She has more than Shay. I don't know if Megan has a lot, honestly.
She does. Megan does have a lot. I think.
Um,
I think.
but I do
Okay.
think that Love's ceiling is higher, and I think that Love
Yeah.
is creating her base at a really good rate. And I
Yeah.
think that she can do a lot of things, and she could diversify
Yeah.
how
Love
she's
is still in
putting out
place.
material and the crew that she has. Like, I think she has a really high trajectory, and I don't think
Um.
she's gonna stop either. Like, yeah,
Yeah. No. 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 I agree with all those sentiments. And so, what I would tell you right now, after everything in our discussion, is Rhapsody is actually the victim and the benefactor of when she came along. You see,
you're right.
she's one of the people. She came along in a time where there really wasn't that many female MCs around, and being a female MC wasn't the thing unless you were Nicki Minaj. Okay,
Yeah, and she was the counter to what
and she was the
people didn't like
counterpart
about
to
Nicki.
that.
Yeah,
But being the counterpart to somebody like that, because of the times had changed, enabled her to amass a catalog.
yeah,
And so what you're finding, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully, she kind of got lost in the female rap struggle a little bit. Well, she's not of this era with the women we just named: Che, Megan, Love, Lotto, Armani, Cyrock, Lil Sims. She's not part of their era, but to be honest with you, she's not part of Remy's era.
mm-hmm.
Or Lauren, Latifah, Light, Eve, The Brat, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. You know what I
Is
mean?
it?
Trina.
I mean, with that being said, though, is it somewhat of an indictment that she doesn't put out more material in a very material-heavy era, in an era where, like you said, there's a rush of we got a lot more female MCs than we've ever had.
You
So
can get on
wouldn't
her
this
for
be the era where she would put more material out?
How about this? If you want to get, how about this? And you know this about me, Mike. I'm competitive. So for somebody like me that's watching the way that some of these other young ladies that have come along, while I've been in the game about a decade now, and in the last 3-4 years, the way that they're putting projects out, like the way Love makes projects,
Yep.
like Love has done about 4 projects in about 3.5-4 years, if not lesser time than that. You know what I mean? Or around that time. So it's like if I see a female working at that pace and I'm competitive and this is what I mean. I had this conversation on the previous podcast about how women get aged out in entertainment fast. I just had this conversation and I talked about how they do actresses in Hollywood when you hit a certain age, they're like, hold on, no more hot girl roles, mom role. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean. It happens fast. Look at Buster's Best I Can. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, they're like, well, what female C you got for that? It's like, well, you can't call Armani or Lotto or Sims for that grown ass song right there. You feel me?
Right.
Love and Shay may not be ready for that song yet either, even though their kind of content is maybe grown enough for it.
I think they could, but I think the
maybe
Rapsody's
Che.
just
I could see
go-to.
Che maybe. I could see Che on there maybe.
Yeah,
but that's
definitely.
Buster too. That's Buster too on ELE 2. That's not like, I'm not saying they're not ready for a big moment, but that is Front Street.
Right,
and Rapsody has been on to Pimp a Butterfly.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
That's the call to make. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So she has credentials, and so what you can say is that like she's done some things with our opportunity. Maybe it's not maximized the opportunity. Right now, she is literally a top 10 female MC all time, but she is number 10. In 5 years, she's not going to be number 10, Mike. And she is
as it stands, unless we get. And again, the Eve album can be one of the best female MC albums that we've ever heard, right?
Yes.
And it still can be true that she doesn't end up top 10. I mean, that, again, we didn't have Rod Digger in that top 10 that we just named. And to me, Dirty Harriet is my favorite female rapping CD album ever. Matt Max with the super chat says, Coop, you're lying to yourself if you think that the WNBA is as good as the NBA. LOL. There's a clear difference in the talent. It's not about marketing. I'm the one that said it's a marketing thing. I honestly enjoy watching the WNBA, but I also enjoy watching college basketball too. It's fundamental basketball.
No. I didn't say that. I mean, Mike is talking about the ability to market the product.
Yeah, I think that the WNBA from a skill set
they're more fundamentally sound than
really
a lot of the guys. Yeah, from a fundamental standpoint, the women are more fundamentally sound than a lot of the guys.
Great shooting, everything.
But that's neither here nor there. I was speaking more of the perspective of, we just don't play fair as guys sometimes in certain spheres, and entertainment and sports happen to be those spheres where we don't play fair. And what we find is in sports where there's more fairness and inclusion for women, things change. Like the prize money for women at Wimbledon now is almost equal, if not equal, to what the man makes. You know what I'm saying? That's fair.
I think that also speaks to the product on the court in that sense.
No, but this is what I'm talking about.
Because if we sit there and watch, Serena and Martina, not Martina, that was too low. You know what I'm talking about. Even when Serena and Venus go against each other, it's so many great tennis players out there where we're watching this. And
this is what I mean about always making
deals and everything.
Well, see, here's what I mean about making the spaces comfortable and open is that, Billie Jean King, fights for Title IX, and she does celebrity matches with male players to kind of create a lane where these two girls from Compton can come along, and it turns out they're better than everybody else out there, and they start whooping ass. And they also are socially aware, and it starts inciting some change. And so now you have people like Naomi Osaka and Madison Keys. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't start like in one place. It starts with the openness and the inclusion. The quality of the product does matter. I'll tell you what.
And it improves over time anyway. Like you said, as more doors open, it continues to improve.
Well, no, the quality does matter too, but you have to be encouraging of the quality. Two of my three favorite tennis players of all time are women. My three favorite players of all time are Steffi Graf, Rafael Nadal, and Serena Williams. Two of those players are women. In my opinion, Serena Williams and Steffi Graf are the two greatest players that I've ever seen pick up a tennis racket.
I think it could be argued that Serena Williams is possibly the greatest athlete of the 2000s. It's either her, LeBron, or Tom Brady.
She won a major with a baby in her body.
Yeah. She's incredible.
She won a major with a baby in her body.
Ryan Gillum with the super chat says, so Rapsody, Lotto, Meg, Shay, Drizzy, and Armani are the Serena and Venus of rap.
No. See, what I'm saying is that you have an era. So, look at it like this. Let's contextualize it. You have somebody like Latifah and Light, and that crop. They're more like a Billie Jean King, okay? They're not Billie Jean King wasn't looked upon as a beautiful female tennis player. You feel what I'm saying? Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown are kind of like a Chris Evert. You know what I mean? Oh, no. She's pretty and she can play this game. That makes more girls want to play the game. And so that's where you see people like Nikki now pop up. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now the game is becoming more inclusive. And what I'm telling you is that, no, like Shay, Love, Armani, that's what I was saying. Oh, we've never seen three females like this, just like we've never seen, like in a team, just like we've never seen anything when Venus and Serena started stepping on the court when they were 17 and 15.
Gotcha.
And so this is a moment and potential tipping point for females and how females are perceived. Like when I heard Che Noir's album, I'm like, this is great. I was like, because in a year where Nas and Black Thought are dropping, I'm pretty certain I have to talk about a female when I talk about their albums dropping in relationship to where it ranks in terms of album of the year contention. Those are the type of conversations that change things, just like when Serena can serve just as fast as Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer, and serve actually better and more accurately than them. It makes people kind of go like, hold up, wait, right. What? Right.
You're and not so sectioning it off anymore. Yeah.
Right. That's kind of happening right now. What happens is the people like Rapsody, they're in that middle era. They kind of just get phased out.
But I think that, you know what, to be fair, I think Rapsody kind of probably influences people like the Che Noirs of the world. Absolutely. And open up that door where it's like, you know what, like you said with the whole Billie Jean King thing where it's like, you know what, I can do this too. JB was here, says, True Honey Buns, you know how we do, 3 the Hard Way. I love all 3 of those records.
There we go.
You know how we do is my shit.
I was thinking 3 the Hard Way.
3 the Hard Way was the shit too. Jay Short with the super chat says, Rapsody is Carmelo Anthony, talented Hall of Famer, multiple All-Stars, and I don't remember any of it. Oh my God. Melo's my guy too. LP with the super chat says, Rapsody sounds like she used to be a librarian. LP always comes with the super chats. Man says, Rapsody is getting penalized for not selling sex. I don't think that's what we're saying.
I'm not penalizing it. No. I'm not penalizing it at all. I'm actually saying she's actually at number 10 because she got to make the albums that other women didn't get to make. But now the game is changing, and we got some Serena and Venuses walking around. Like, how about this? Steffi Graf knew when it was time to retire. Like, she started seeing what Venus and Serena were doing. Like, when she beat Martina Hingis and then she started watch how Venus and Serena started whooping Martina Hingis ass, Steffi was like, no, can't fuck with these girls. You feel me? And I'm not saying that's necessarily happened for Rapsody. I'm saying that's how the game changes and transitions. And we have some opportunities. Like that album Che put together, that's pretty special, Mike.
It is. I agree. Mad Max of the super chat says, hold on, Meg is a one-trick pony. She been done. JT better than Megan. No way she's Rapsody. Get out of here. Fever is her last great joint. I liked Fever a lot.
I prefer Rapsody to Megan, just personally.
And I'm not mad at that. The Raisin Head says, until we hold women as accountable for ghostwriters as we do men, they would never be equal. It's our fault, not theirs. Nas is from Rock Hill. LOL. You know what? Let's talk about the ghostwriting thing, too, once I get past these super chats. Eric Terrell says, females listen to SZA and Summer Walker. That's their trap music. And men don't listen to hardcore female rap without a male MC on the track. Megan better find somebody.
Fascinating.
Mad Max says, Love's not Rapsody either, but Rapsody doesn't have a lot of work. Don't she got like 3 albums, but Love ain't Rapsody. This is crazy. Let's see. And let's talk about this ghostwriting thing. Raisin Head says, lower the rim. They already with smaller balls. I guess that was towards the WNBA. Okay, what about this whole ghostwriter thing, right?
No.
And we do have a situation in hip hop where not only is it okay for many people for a female MC to have a ghostwriter, but to some extent it's almost expected, which I think, to me, that's chauvinistic, where we hear a female MC rhyming great, we automatically assume, not we, but a lot of people will automatically put that notion out there like they got a ghostwriter. Any man that a woman is connected with they want to make that person the ghostwriter. Like if Megan's dating somebody he's writing for, you know what I mean? And
Like,
even what they used to do with Safari and Nicki, and I'm like, have y'all heard Safari rap? Don't do her like that.
Well, you want to know what? In all honesty, though, Mike, that's jumping down a whole nother rabbit hole, and we already jumped down the Rapsody rap hole halfway into the Primo review.
Yeah,
and so, like,
we got to get to this Nas song. That might be a whole nother episode.
Right, that is like when we starting to talk about the females and the ghostwriting thing. That's literally a whole nother show.
Okay.
And we've already jumped down and sidebar like way deep into the Rapsody rap hole because somebody woke up today not feeling Rapsody anymore. All right, that's great. Thanks, Mike. All right.
I felt like being honest, man, and
No.
I think that Rapsody clearly can make a dope album, and I'm looking forward to hearing more great stuff from her. But at this trajectory, or at this point, and at this point in time, she just hasn't really done it for me like that. And that's just me as a hip hop fan. And I know we talk about Vinyl Days with Logic. I think it's a similar thing. Because on a technical level, he did everything right. And you don't feel it, and I understand why you don't feel it, because honestly, I haven't played the record since it came out either. So
that's what I was trying to say about the whole "I know you got soul" comment.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the Primo review. So I would give that Joey Badass song a 5 out of 5. I would give this a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
We're moving to the Nas song.
Let's move to the Nas song. Let me get to this Mad Max super chat, and then we'll move on to the Nas song. He says, best athletes of the 2000s is Floyd Mayweather, the guy who's undefeated with the most world championships beat under his belt. World champs beat under his belt. I fuck with Floyd, so I'm with you on that. It's cool. I get it. That's